I'm Calvin Johnson, and it's exciting to play here at Space1026. So here I am at this place, and I think it's pretty neat. I like the building. I don't know, I mean, I understand why they put up this wall, you know, because it's more conducive to a blank slate for hanging art. But I like the room without the wall. Just aesthetically it appeals to me. But hey, it's not my building. And a little asterisk would be like, who cares what you think?
Here we are. This is the front room here, which will be the store and gallery area. So this wall we probably are going to tear down within the next week.
So we were looking for a place that we needed to have enough room to silk screen, and then we wanted to be able to build a skate ramp, and then other than that, it just had to fit the four of us.
Like, we didn't plan on having a gallery. We didn't plan on really expanding to what it is now, but you know, it's like centrally located. It's close to the bus station. It's close to Chinatown. There was all these things we could do all of a sudden. Look at the size of this place.
I remember John being like, hey, we have enough space to have a ramp and a gallery. I mean, the first shows we did here were like, they were really fun because they were a lot of people's first solo shows or first time showing artwork in a gallery. The learning curve got really fast because people started to pay attention, because I think there wasn't that much going on in Philly as far as kind of young, energetic art. And we had a ready-made audience, so it was like all the people that we knew from going to punk rock shows, all the people we knew from going to skateboard stuff, all the bike messengers, they all wanted to come out and support their friends that were doing art that had never had a chance to put art on the wall somewhere. So it was like we had this ready-made audience that let us fuck up a bunch because they were all a bunch of fuck-ups too, so it was cool, you know what I mean?
Young Guns is too young to remember the half pipe that used to be in here. But if it was here when he was here, he'd be killing it. I'd frontside krill it. He'd be killing it.
Skateboarding, if you really break it down, is how much shit can you accomplish before you fall off your skateboard, because you are gonna fall off your skateboard. I feel like what's 1026, it allows people the chance to try something and totally fuck it up and get it wrong. And it's almost like art school. It's like you can continue that, you know, I'm trying this new way of doing stuff, and if it totally fucks up, people are like, man, you sure tried. That's awesome.
Space1026 is pretty much the only thing that I've ever been involved in that worked, and none of it worked the way it was supposed to work from the beginning.
Skating, well, you mean like roller skating? Are we listed in the telephone book as a skating rink?
Yeah, John Freeborn put the listing in. When we started the space, he thought it'd be a good idea if he put us under skate parks, because he was trying to run a skateboard company. So it's like, hey, we'll put it under skate parks. They'll call here about a skate park, and I'll try to sell them a skateboard.
When we first thought about starting Space1026, we just sort of had a vague idea that we were gonna all combine forces and, you know, try everything and hope that at least, you know, one or two things pan out.
And started the space with the hopes of having a successful t-shirt company, skateboard company, and a successful zine. And all of those things failed. And the thing that kept going about the space was just people.
Start the meeting. Everybody.
Hey, I'm Clint. Let's start the meeting. All right, so welcome to 1026. Shit's a mess.
We want to like start digging into finances right now. I just checked the bank balance and it's like $3,000. The rent is $2,000. So as of next month,
We're fucked.
that you can't do that. Like, I know.
It's probably like one of the most maybe real experiences of community that I've been involved in, just in the sort of good, bad, ugly aspects of it.
Significant amount.
Who knows they owe
of
money? Raise your hand.
There's kind of this weird like
Who can pay the next?
family quality to it, like where even though you have like the brother that like does drugs all the time and like never pays his bills and always like wrecks your shit, you still like invite them to dinner, you know?
The more that people came to shows just to see the art of the people that we invited to be in the gallery, the more that people kind of felt that there was like this collaborative, artistic thing going on here, whereas in all reality it was mostly a bunch of individuals working together, but the sum of all those individuals doing stuff looked like a kind of collaborative effort.
Thanks, Renee. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Tonight, the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts is very proud to be hosting 3 amazing artist groups here from different cities across the U.S. and Canada.
I think the funniest thing about these shows is how we come here and there's like 10 of us here and we're not at home, and it looks like we all work together. You know what I mean? It looks like oh my god, these guys are like, you know, a unit. They totally function, and it's just funny when you think about the reality of it all.
It's ridiculous to think that 30 people can, you know, get together and make something, but somehow, you know, we've done it.
This wheat paste wall was a absolute pain in my asshole. It's sort of absurd that we just took like a 9 foot by 80 foot section of wall and just figured we'd wing it when we got here. Like, I mean, I guess there's probably no other way we can do something, but like, shit, it's just so stupid. And so many things just sort of happen by accident. And I guess that's what our art ends up just looking like, is like a big accident, but like, the piece of you that wants to plan just feels like it's dying over and over and over again.
How you feeling about the show?
I'm so stoked on it. It's totally come a long way since this morning, and man, it rules so much just to be a part of it. I'm so psyched. I really am. It feels great. It feels so good to just be a part of something that's way more than yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it rules. It really does.
To me, like, what's good about creative life is like having the space outside of that world that like tells us that the way you succeed is by making money, by like being famous, or by, you know, having some sort of success that's like sanctioned by the world around us. I think that what's so special about this place is that even though from here people try and succeed in those ways, this place itself is never going to succeed in those ways, and as a result it's like a safe space, and it's like a place to come back to and try things out and experiment and fail and like just be with people and to have support. I feel like Space1026 insulates me or the community that I'm psyched about from a certain type of success that like would just sort of commodify our art and turn us into like shitty doubles of ourselves. You know what I mean? Like the Urban Outfitters equivalent of my friends that I think are awesome.
Bunch of guys, and we come together and like we all have different things that we're working on. Animation, skateboarding, none of that cocktail culture stuff.
There's a cross relationship in sports and music. It gets you feeling very creative. I try and get the music to match how I'm feeling.
1, 2, 3, stop!
A friend of ours came to an opening who worked at an ad agency here in Philly, and then she's like, you know, and I guess the MTV, one of their clients is MTV, and she said, hey, for this new project, let's use the Space1026 people.
All right, we're striking this location, loading everything back up, and we're going back to 1026 again.
All right. Going back to 1026.
Space 1026.
I'm sorry, Space 1026.
It's supposed to be like this huge marketing push for this sports and music clothing line.
It was very controversial. There were a lot of discussions going on at the same time. Ben didn't want to do it because he didn't want to have anything to do with Viacom and evil corporations. People were telling Andrew that, once his art shows up on MTV, that's it, he's done. That everyone's gonna see his work. They're gonna exploit it. They're gonna copy his style.
I made up a whole new persona. I made up all sorts of art that I never made before, and I grew really awful facial hair, wore like a headband. And I changed my name to Randy Wiggums. Was that it?
Yeah. Randy Wiggums.
Randy Wiggums was my name for that.
The Agro Hessian.
The Agro Hessian.
Randy Wiggums is skating.
Randy Wiggums? Is that his name? Yeah, what's the deal, Andrew? Just guaranteeing the facts. That won't be on camera.
We had to have music, but none of us really had any. So on the spot, a few of us put together this band real quick called the Bongoloids, and we had 2 songs. And I'm like, they're gonna need a fast song and a slow song. So we just made up 2 songs, and then the director would be like, all right, I'll try another song, and I'd be like, we'll just do the same one again. So we just played the same song over and over again.
They wanted to take advantage of us because we were young and they thought they could, and to some degree they probably did.
Great. That's it. Good with your hair. Play with your hair. You're completely confused.
Like, this is our lives, it's like our work and like what we do every day is like important to us, and I think to a lot of corporations we're just seen as like a venue to a market. There's not a lot that we have in the world as like struggling or like poor artists, and I think the more control you can kind of have over your work and your like image, that's sort of the better to me.
There's something inherently social about making art. At least there is for the people that work here. I feel like there's this like modern myth of the like individual, isolated, artistic genius. And I think that in every way, that's what Space 1026 provides people a way to rally against. Even though there's so many people that are like very headstrong individuals here and very much make their own shit, like everybody here, I think, recognizes that no matter how individual your process is, it's totally inspired by this community that we've chosen to surround ourselves with. It's the opposite of this like idea of the like artist genius. It's like for us, I feel like the art's all around us, and it's in how we live our lives together, and then the individual people sort of pull from that experience in their each in their unique way, and then adds to this general environment or creative community. And then that inspiration is very obviously what comes through in our work. That is what then perpetuates that awesome community that gives more inspiration for the process to just continue.
If you have a super scheduled out life, the speeding up of time may be more apparent. But since I don't have a schedule, there's no pattern for me to get into and just like have it zip by. But the group photo is always on October 26th, which is the date 1026. So like the problem was that, there was too many different things going on for there to be one name kind of saying what was here. So I suggested the most generic name possible, and that's the one that ended up, which is Space 1026. It's a space and it's an address.
The way I look at Space 1026 is, first, it's really, 2 floors of a building in Chinatown, Philadelphia, that is occupied by artists. That's what it is.
It's like, it's just this hallway of trash and junk, some of which is precious and some of which is transient.
I think it's like a particular cultural moment. It's a group of people that is kind of expanding and contracting and like kind of goes out into the world in a lot of different ways.
It's like this weird combination of a physical space and a network of people, and it can't be reduced to either. It's not just like a community of people, and it's also not just this building on Art Street. It's this weird interplay between the two. It's a community that's grounded by a specific space, and it very much is that network of people, I think, that defines the space mostly, but it's that network of people and how they use this one location or this one space, and I think together that creates Space 1026.
It's more of a community of just people who are friends, who make art.